I have never combined beans at 6 miles an hour until we demoed the S7. That's saying something, I think. My name's Ted Kruger. I live in Worthington, Minnesota. I farm with my brother, Jay.
Me and my brother Ted, we made Jet Egg in 2011. We consist of custom finishing hogs, custom spraying, and then we row crop around Worthington, Minnesota, and a little bit in Iowa.
We had the opportunity to demo an S7 800 Combine. It works great. The automated speed, I feel like it really increases the productivity of the combine, which I have no doubt increases efficiencies on the combine, like hours when you're talking about trading it in and fuel use.
I think it really improved the efficiency. We were in the same field with each other, and the one machine was going about 1 to 1.5 miles per hour in the morning. Then we figured we should speed ours up a little bit, and then the other one we sped it all the way up to, I think it was 6 miles an hour for a lot of the demo, and it did a phenomenal job. It had a cleaner grain sample than what we were getting out as well.
And there's a nice little graph that showed you your engine power and right where you're at, and it keeps you right there. It never got slugged up or anything where you had to grab it and slow down, where our other, that one would occasionally. You'd go into a spot that was a little more, the beans were more leafy or there were more weeds, just more material to go through the combine, and it would slow down as it was getting to the cutter bar, which I think that's the whole key to making the automated speed work, is be predictive, not reactive. Most operators will just leave it at the safe speed for the whole field. And most people wouldn't realize that throughout the day, hey, I've been running, just like 4.5 all day has been working great, slow down a little for catching, but then conditions changed, and by the end of the day, we're combining at 6 miles an hour. I have never combined beans at 6 miles an hour until we demoed the S7. That's saying something, I think.
I think it would speed up harvest quite a bit. I think that this machine in a day would get a lot more acres through it than our 780 would right now with the technology. I think that it would have a place, especially with the labor side of it, trying to find someone to run it. Typically anymore, Ted and I don't get in the machine as much because we're trying to run the trucks and watch the dryer at the elevator. So a lot of times that will be the next most important job on the farm, but it'd be nice to, like, when you can watch over it with your phone, and that's in the automation, and knowing that they're going fast enough with it and pushing the machine to its limit.
I think with the level of automation, as long as you have someone in there to make sure that the combine's not going to run over something, I think you could set those levels and, tell them, well, hey, watch this graph or whatever, and I think it would be a safe bet to let them run it.
I would say the door was a big thing, that it vacuum sealed shut. It didn't seem to get nearly as dusty in the cab. It seemed quieter in the cab in general. And then we don't have the crossauger shut off on ours, and that's all integrated. That was a nice feature on the machine.
When I got in the cab, I noticed, first of all, the steps to get into the cab are nice. They're a little bit of an incline instead of straight up. Another thing about cab comfort was the door pulls itself closed. Like, you gotta close it yourself, but it seals itself. The screen, the G5 screen was, I'm guessing, 50% bigger than what we'd been running, and that was really nice. It was easier to put what you wanted on the screen, and just, you get everything on that page. You don't need 3 or 4 pages anymore with that bigger screen. 2 is enough. An adjustable end spout with a roll of your finger on your joystick, make it kick in and out, and that was really nice. You get the grain cart fuller. Not only that, but I think the grain cart could generally be a little further away. You get that grain coming out so fast out of the end, you kick that way up, it's coming out 3 feet more, I bet. Makes your auger longer, essentially.
You could get the cart a lot fuller, and we were going over a couple hills out there, and you could get the grain so it wasn't getting way to the edge where it would spill out normally.
Yeah, my name is Cole Brown. I'm a precision ag consultant for C&B operations. I cover the southwest corner of Minnesota, and I got to help out with the S7 800 demoed here this fall. Kind of working and making sure that that initial setup process went smoothly, you know, that the cameras are cleaned off, that those satellite maps, the NDVI maps do pull in as well, and then, you know, just got to kind of help them. I got a pretty good knowledge of what else is all new with the machine. Just the improvements of it being now a system that is more so predictive than reactive. Before, we were only able to really adjust our speed based off of what our engine load currently is and kind of just how full our rotor is, where it wouldn't know, you know, if we're diving into 250 bushel corn or diving into some really heavy beans. Previously, the machine wouldn't know that ahead of time, and now with our predictive ground speed automation, you know, we can look ahead and see, okay, this stuff is going to be yielding a little bit more, this little thicker crop. We're going to slow down a little bit ahead of time here so we don't slug the machine so much. My favorite part, the thing that stood out the most to me, was the 15-minute measurement or graph, however you want to call it, of our 3 different values that we're measuring, which would be your grain loss, foreign material, and then broken grain. Just being able to see where those values have been, just actually letting yourself trust the technology as far as, you know, maybe how fast we should be going. It just takes the human error out of there. Plenty of people get a million phone calls a day and aren't actually able to fully just focus on what we're doing with the combine. You know, this would definitely benefit multiple customers. The biggest one would be the customers that are having some trouble finding qualified operators to actually run these combines in the field. Having the trust in the technology to, you know, making sure that we're getting a clean sample, allowing us to be able to remotely monitor this machine as well. The customer success side of things is biggest factor in selling these machines. Being able to actually be there and make sure that this machine is going well for the customer, you know, that they don't have any huge questions, that we're just leaving them out there to dry with the machine, you know. Anytime there's something new, we want to ensure that we're there with our customers and making sure that it's going well for them.
John Deere's technology is coming fast. I would say faster than any other line of equipment in the world, I think.
It seems like they're getting closer and closer to a autonomous combine, I would say. They got the cameras, they got the technology now. That's what we really need, that for the labor side of it.
I think the future of technology, automation in farming, I think I'll be running multiple pieces of equipment myself. You know, maybe 2 planters while I go and get seed out of the shed. We have a hard time finding operators, and I think it's going to be fewer operators doing more and being home more. The impact that it could have on our farm, I think if you're right at that level of needing to get a bigger combine or maybe needing to go to 2 combines, if you're running like a 770, 780, and you're thinking, hey, maybe we need another one, I think this would maybe be enough. It's that much more efficient.
Everybody that we've demoed it to really would consider adding this to their operation. You know, at the end of the day, it's just going to be the dollars and the next time that they would come to trade. If you'd like to learn more about the machine, reach out to your local C&B sales representative and we'll get you covered.